Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion on the Fallout 76 Wastelanders DLC, scheduled to release April 7th. Before I get started with that though, I'd just like to apologise because 18 months ago, I think it was roughly 18 months ago, I did say I was going to make a load of videos on Fallout 76, when I actually ended up making, I think, two. Yeah, two. And that's basically because the game was, what's the best way to put it, a bit of a train wreck. There wasn't really much to do. As you're seeing here, I'm doing an event, and once you've finished everything, it's all you could do really is events and the daily quests, and there wasn't really much to them. This one was actually alright, Feed the People, but there wasn't much to them, so I didn't feel like there was anything to make a video on without doing a playthrough of the story. But even the story was very bare bones, and there wasn't much to do. So this first part is going to be what I want to see in the DLC, and some of the stuff does seem a little bit out there and unlikely, but there's still a chance, a small chance of it being implemented, basically. So first thing I want to go over is returning characters or potential returning characters. So returning characters that we know of is Meg Jessup. I think her surname was Jessup. Her name's Meg, and she was a raider. On holotapes we can find. We can get stories of, I can't remember which gang she was rolling with. I think she was with the Cutthroat Crags, with her name. It's Cutthroat something, I think. And then she comes back a year after Reclamation Day, which is Wastelanders is set a year later. So, and she comes back and she's the leader of the Raiders. And now the potential returning characters is, this is the one that's a bit out there, is some of you might remember from Fallout 2 and Fallout 3, Harold. And he is, in Fallout 3, he is just a tree. He was infected with the FEV sometime in the early 22nd century. I'm not 100% sure when, but basically, Harold was born 5 years before the bombs dropped. But then him and the Master, if you've played the first Interplay Fallout games, you'll know who the Master is. They got infected with the FEV, and it kind of fucked them up a little bit. Where Harold started growing a tree out of his head. In Fallout 2 he had a branch. And, well, between the years 2102 and sometime in the 2160s, no one knows where Harold is. And Fallout 76's Wastelanders DLC is set 2103. So there's a small chance, a very small chance he will be there, but I highly doubt that. Next bit I'm going to be talking about is what sort of NPCs are we likely to see, because there's not just people hanging around the central hubs like in Fallout 76. We're going to have the Foundation and the space station, and Fallout 4, you know, Diamond City, Good Neighbor, Fallout 3, Rivet City. I don't need to go over all those. And what I want to see is, what I've not seen anyone talk about really, is radio station hosts. No one's really spoke about them, and either they'll get a radio station host that's a bit like Travis in Diamond City. Okay, so I've got a clip here to show you. In Diamond City, if you come around to where I've just shown you on the Pip-Boy, you can find Travis Miles, and he is the host of Diamond City Radio. He's one of the more in-depth radio hosts, because there's also, if you go to Nuka World, you can find Red Eye. And the thing with Red Eye was you can't actually find him. There's no set place. I think there is somewhere you can, if you're on PC, you can teleport yourself to where he is. But there's no actual model for Red Eye. So I see this being a lot more likely, because if there's a proper radio host, it's going to be inside an interior. And from all that I'm aware, anyone that's inside an interior you can kill, because it's to try and make your story like that. I'm not 100% sure what's the reason behind it. So I see us getting a radio host like Red Eye. I would rather have one like Travis or Three Dog. Or could you meet Mr. New Vegas? I can't remember. I haven't played Vegas in years. But yeah, so the radio hosts probably gonna be like Red Eye. But if we do get a Travis Miles type character that we can meet, and maybe we can get a quest for them, they'll give us a quest over the radio. That would be a pretty cool thing they can do with their radio host. Okay, now I'm going to go over smaller factions because, as you know, in Fallout 4, you have the main factions. You know, the Brotherhood of Steel, the Railroad, the Institute. You can join all those, but then you have the little factions like the Herbologists in Nuka World, or who else is there? Or there's the militia up in Salem that you can. They say it's a militia, but it's literally some guy and his rifle. But you know, you can join them. So maybe we can join small factions like that, because we know that the Cult of Mothman's going to be there. But is that cult going to be hostile, or can we join the cult? Or is there going to be a mission? Are they going to be involved in the story anyway? We don't know. But joining the Cult of Mothman would be interesting, to say the least, because a lot of people already do run around with the ritual bindings and mask on, and they do pretend that they are in the cult. Role-playing is one of the big things keeping this game alive. Okay, so now I'm going to be going over if they have truly fixed Fallout, which is something that I can't really properly judge until April 7th, which is about a month from today. But what we can say is that it is going to be some sort of an improvement, because you can play this game without running into players for like 3-4 hours. Like, I know they are on the map if you wanted to go to them, but that's beside the point. You want some like natural storytelling sort of thing, and finding NPCs out there, say they're in a little shack, or like we saw in the first trailer, there were some people at Anchor Farm just north of the vault. It's just those little things that really help with the storytelling and also would help with an end game. A pretty big concern that I do have with this DLC is that Bethesda aren't exactly known for having stable online servers. So on launch day, on April 7th, like, I know in the UK that is a school holiday for Easter, so there's going to be loads of people coming on, which I'm sure that's the reason why they did it. It was a good business move, but will the servers be able to handle that? We don't know, because like for me anyway, on release day, I'm hoping that you've seen my first 50 minutes on the beta. The server was quite stable for most of it, but there were still, I have gone through some pretty major glitches on fairly small servers. So, and duping, when that was a thing, well, it still is, but when it was a big thing, that would crash servers. I just hope that they know that what they're doing and that the server can take it, because that would be, if I log on to play on launch day and I can't get on it, I'll be, well, a bit upset, because I have been waiting for this, because we were told the release date would be in, I think it was winter, like in fall, and then we were told the first quarter, which the first quarter is January to March, and they're releasing it April 7th. Bethesda, that's another lie. Okay, so now I'm going to go over something that's a bit, I don't know, but they're releasing faction packs. I'll get those up on screen for you. We've got the Raider one, which that comes with a few different things, like a power armor skin, an outfit, a loot bag, a backpack, a minecart gardening plot, which I think they're going to be a bit like the garden plots you can get in one of the DLCs of Fallout 4. And what also is there going to be? Well, I think that's it. And it's the same for the settler pack, and I'll get the settler pack on the screen now for you. And I think they look good, but what are they going to charge for them? Because they're similar to the, was it Tricentennial pack? Was that what it was called? And if you wanted that separately, that's going to cost you about £20, and I ain't spending £20 on that. So hopefully they have done it properly. Like, they've really thought through the price to get more people to buy it. Because £10, I'd say that would be, for what you're getting, I'd say that's a bit reasonable. 15 at the most, but they'd probably do a 20 quid thing, because that's Bethesda. They like their money. Like, we can tell that from Skyrim. I can legit play Skyrim on my Alexa right now if I wanted to, and yeah. So what else is there? Well, how should you play it? And by that I mean, do you make a new character, or do you play on your old one? Well, they said that the gameplay is going to be different for each if you're a new or an old character, and there's 2 factions. So I say, do one faction with your old character and another one with your new character. But I'm going to be starting a new character on launch day, because that's just what I feel like it's the re-release of 76, which maybe that is thinking of it a bit too big, but that's what I'm taking it as. So, well, in conclusion, should you play this DLC? Personally, I suggest re-downloading the game, give it a go on release day or whenever you're free. If you were really disappointed by it in the release in 2018, I think it's worth giving it a chance. Give Bethesda a chance, because they could do a lot with this DLC that, if done correctly, it should end up being a great DLC. So yeah, please play it on April 7th. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and peace.